What's up everyone? I'm finally, I'm getting around to making this video. Today I'm going to look at the Xbox Series X, the Xbox Game Showcase, and Microsoft's plan for the next generation of gaming. Here we go. So I'm just going to jump right into it. This is going to follow a very similar format to the PS5. The console, the games, what Xbox is doing in the next gen, what I'm looking forward to from Xbox. So the console, in my opinion, looks okay, looks kind of cool. It looks like a standard, console. Doesn't look, I wouldn't say it looks like futuristic, doesn't look like the next generation, but it looks good. I think it'll look good in my gaming case. It looks a bit smaller and compact than my Xbox One, which is fantastic because Xbox One was a pain in the butt to carry around. It was heavy, it was big. So this one looks good. Hopefully there's, you can design, change the skin on it, get different versions of the Series X. But speaking of the Series X, that name is just atrocious. I try not to be too negative about it, I think, but I cannot stand that name. It's just too confusing. Like, if you're not a gamer, and you go into a store and see, the Xbox One, then the Xbox One X, which just came out like 2-3 years ago, then the Xbox Series X, you're not gonna know which one to buy. You're not gonna know which one's the newest one. You're not gonna know, you know what I mean? It's just super confusing. I don't know, maybe even naming it the Xbox 2 sounds ridiculous. I think they could have named it something way cooler. I don't really have anything on top of my head, but the Series X, very similar to the Xbox One X, which is just a slightly upgrade over the Xbox One, which is a bit more powerful. But obviously, Series X is the new one coming out in holiday 2020. I think the name is ridiculous, but the console looks good. The console looks okay. It looks fresh. It looks like an Xbox console. Alright, next up is the Xbox Game Showcase, and obviously what better way to start off talking about Microsoft games than with Halo Infinite. Halo is Xbox's flagship. People think Halo, people think Xbox. That's pretty much how it goes, similar to Mario and Nintendo. I guess Last of Us on Sony, but Halo is Microsoft's big seller. And it's unfortunate that it's been delayed till 2021. It was supposed to be a launch title for the Series X. That's going to hurt Microsoft a lot. But in the long run, Halo is Halo. In my opinion, it's going to sell regardless. And it's probably better that they delay it than release an unfinished game. If you watch the gameplay, you probably know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to go too in depth about that, but delaying the game is never a bad thing in my opinion. Sure, it sucks you have to wait a bit longer, but it just means the company has a bit longer to work on it and fix out all the bugs and the tweaks and add some different things the fans have requested. So it's unfortunate that's not a launch title. It looks fun. It looks like a Halo game. I mean, that's really all I can say. It looks like a Halo game with a bit more, I guess, open world vibes. Like, it's not like a RPG open world where it's like, you can go wherever you want. It's more like you land to a certain mission, but then that mission area is huge. You kind of explore it a bit, so that's kind of fun. A bit different than what Halo's taking there. But the biggest thing I want to talk about Halo Infinite, it wasn't shown at the Xbox Game Showcase, but it is a huge part, is the multiplayer. Halo, people mostly play the multiplayer of the campaign. People play the campaign, but Halo is known for its multiplayer. And the thing that's cool with Halo Infinite is that multiplayer is free to play. So what that means is you don't need to buy the game. You don't need to pay the $80 for the campaign. To include the campaign with the game, you can get multiplayer regardless. Multiplayer you don't need to purchase the game to play multiplayer. You can just jump right into multiplayer, skip the campaign entirely. It's free to play. Obviously, you need an Xbox Live Gold subscription to play it, but that's not, compared to an $80 price tag, that's not that bad. So you don't need to buy the full game. You don't need to buy the full game when it comes out. Just jump right into multiplayer and you're good to go. So I think that's super cool, and I think more companies should follow that. But besides that, it's another Halo game. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to sell consoles for Xbox. It's going to sell a lot. It's going to be Xbox's probably best-selling game for a while. So that's my thoughts on Halo. There really isn't much more there. Sucks that it's delayed, but I guess we'll see more of it when we can, I guess. Alright, next up is Fable. People obviously, Fable is a lost title that, has been around since the 360 kind of days. They were kind of creating a new one for the next gen, but Lionhead went under. And anyways, there's Fable 1, 2, and 3. Looks like it's a brand new reboot. It's by a completely different company, Playground Entertainment, who are known for racing games, which is kind of odd, but they're also known for their open world, which is what Fable is. It's just a silly silly, crazy, fun open world, which Playground Games are really, really good at making. Obviously, Fable is known for its British humor. It's a lot of fantasy RPG, so, you know, everything in there, like, I wouldn't say take seriously at all. Obviously, if you watch the trailer, it's a fairy getting eaten by a frog, so, I mean, you can kind of go off of that from the game. I'm personally super hyped about this one. I'm a huge Fable guy. There's rumors that it's going to be an MMO at launch, which I really hope it's not going to be. But obviously, we'll get more update on that when we can. There's no launch release date for this one, so that makes me think it's, you know, kind of 2022 launch window, 2023. When Xbox is kind of going to push their next gen games more. If you haven't heard, Xbox is saying to their, I guess people who already have an Xbox, don't worry about buying the Series X right at launch if you don't want to. We're not forcing you. So every game coming to the Series X is going to come to the Xbox One at the same time, so you can play it. Obviously, it's not going to be the best version. The Series X is still going to be the best version to play, but the Xbox One, you can also play the games on the Xbox One, or the Xbox One X, or the Xbox S, I guess, Xbox One S. But within 2 years, you're going to start pushing people towards the Series X, because when the, you know, the technology upgrades, the hardware upgrades, the games aren't going to be able to run on the Xbox One anymore. But for the next 2 years, at least, you're going to be able to play all the new next-gen games on your Xbox One. So, Fable to me is in that two-year time window where it's like, all right, if you want to play Fable, you need to get the Series X, because the stuff we're doing with it won't be able to handle on the you know, the Xbox One or the Xbox One X. So I'm looking forward to Fable. Looking forward to hearing more about it. It looks really cool. The trailer's like 10 seconds long, 15 seconds long if you want to go look at it. But if you played Fable, you know what I'm talking about, and hopefully it is going to be the exact same. Very similar to those, because I really enjoyed those games. Next game on my list, again, I'm just picking, I had 8 or 9 games when I started this video, but I kind of narrowed down to 4 or 5, just because the video became too long. So I'm just picking these games based on ones that intrigued me, people that probably one that people, you know, want to hear more about. So the next one is Everwild. It's developed by Rare. For those who don't know who Rare is, they made Banjo-Kazooie, they made Perfect Dark, they made Conker's Bad Fur Day. Microsoft bought them. Now they're making games for Microsoft. I believe the first game since Microsoft bought them was Sea of Thieves, which I haven't played that. It's a fantastic multiplayer game. It's so much fun. The art style for Everwild, very similar to Sea of Thieves. Looks, you know, not cartoony, but I guess, yeah, cartoony, but like with a realistic vibe. It looks really good. I just don't know what Everwild is. I don't think anybody does. Is it a single player game? Is it a MMO? Is it a, you know, single player with a hint of multiplayer? Is it multiplayer only? No one has any idea. They don't even know if it's a story-based game or if it's a free-to-explore game. No one knows. So I'm looking forward to learning more about that, because this game is really intriguing. It looks nice. It looks very beautiful. Rare knows how to make Rare knows how to make beautiful environments, characters, you know, stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to learning more about it. In my personal opinion, I hope it's a single player game, but with a co-op aspect. So, you know, you don't need to play multiplayer to beat the game, but if, you know, you're playing and your buddies are online and they want to play too, you can jump in and play with them without kind of, you know, feeling forced to use the multiplayer aspect. So that's kind of what I hope it is. If you haven't watched it already, go look at the trailer. I can't really explain more than just it's like a fantasy, like you're in the woods and there's like different, you know, animals, stuff like that. I don't really know how to explain it, because I don't know what the game is, but it really intrigues me because Rare makes it. I love Sea of Thieves, and I love what Rare does. So hopefully we can learn more about what this game is soon, and I hope it comes out very shortly. I thought it was going to be a launch title, but I think it's more of a 2021, later 2021 type of game. But hey, I'm just saying, I'm just on YouTube making opinion videos, so who knows? I mean, I could be completely wrong. It's a launch title, but I do want to learn more about Everwild. Next up is Avowed, made by Obsidian Entertainment. For those who don't know who Obsidian is, they're well known for making story games, RPG, open worlds. They've made Outer Worlds, not Outer Wilds. 2 games. There's 2 different 2-style games, but very, very similar names. They've contributed to Fallout Las Vegas. They just released Grounded on the Xbox One. They're very, very good at making open world RPG kind of story element games. So Avowed, people are saying it's going to give Skyrim. It's going to compete with Bethesda and their Elder Scrolls series. So that gets me really excited. It's a very ambitious title from what I've understood. There's a lot going on in there. You don't learn much about what the game is. You just know that's in development and that's like a medieval kind of setting, I guess you can kind of say. There's like skeletons and, you know, you have swords and wizard powers and stuff like that. So it looks really intriguing. If it's anything, I'm just excited because it's Obsidian. Obsidian's known to making open world games, and I love open world games. And the fact that critics are saying it could give Skyrim and the Elder Scrolls series a run for their money, that's saying huge things. So I'm looking forward to Avowed. It's going to be available day one on Game Pass. Probably more similar to Fable 2022-23 release, where, you know, you got to buy the Series X to play it because the hardware and the stuff that's going on in the game requires a bit of an upgrade. But again, it could be wrong, and it could be out 2021. Who knows? But that game is probably, that and Fable, probably my two most anticipated games. Just because I love like open world RPG games, similar, you know, especially in the medieval time. That's kind of cool. And Obsidian just knows how to write a good story. They know how to make good RPG mechanics. They know how to make a very creative world with a lot of cool things. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what they're doing there. I absolutely love Grounded. Very similar, very different take, but it's fun. And if you haven't played Grounded yet, watch out for those spiders. Those things are terrifying. But anyways, Avowed hopefully comes out soon because I cannot wait to play it. I was going to talk about State of Decay 3 here, just because State of Decay is kind of a known Xbox franchise now. It's kind of like an open world zombie game, but you get to build a fort, you need to, you know, scavenge things and build a fort, build a garden, build the thing, and if your character dies, he dies. But I kind of want to spend some time talking about Xbox Game Pass, which it's kind of going to tie into my next segment too, which is what Xbox is doing for the future, because to me, Game Pass is their next gen. The way they're pushing it more than their console right now. They're saying if you have an Xbox and you want to play next gen games, get Game Pass. Essentially what it is like a Netflix for gaming. It's like a subscription-based service for gaming. You get Game Pass, you get access to all the games in the library that are on there. Every single Xbox exclusive, every game that I've talked about in this video will be on there day one. So you don't even need to pay $70, $80 to buy the full game anymore. You just pay whatever the price of Game Pass is. I think it's $14.99 right now. Whether that goes up or down, I have no idea. But you pay that, you have access to the game, you can play as much time as you want. There's like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of games in that library. From Red Dead Redemption 2 to, you know, small indie games. Whatever you feel like, there's one for everybody. There's horror games, there's action games, there's sport games, there's, you know, indie games, there's survival games, there's any kind of game you can think of is in that library. So Xbox is kind of saying that's their future, because in September as well, they're launching xCloud with the Game Pass membership. So you buy Game Pass, you get, you know, Game Pass Ultimate, I guess. You get the xCloud, you get access to Game Pass on PC, which has PC-only games like Age of Empires, Gears Tactics, Microsoft Flight Simulator, and xCloud, which is essentially a cloud-based gaming service. So you can literally play Xbox games wherever you want, Microsoft games wherever you want. If you have a phone, like an Android that, you know, it doesn't need to be a super powerful Android, obviously the games won't look as good, but if you have an Android that can download the Game Pass app and the xCloud app, you can take Halo with you on the go, you can take Gears of War with you on the go. You have a tablet, you can use your tablet to play those games. If you're, you know, going to a business conference, or, you know, traveling, or going to the cottage for the summer and you don't have access to the internet, like don't have access to bring your Xbox, you just bring a tablet or a laptop or whatever, and you can play any of those games anywhere you want. So that's kind of what Xbox is saying for the next 2 years at least. You know, jump into Game Pass. This is why I love Game Pass. I think it's the best deal in gaming by far. I barely buy physical copies anymore for my Xbox, just because every game is on there for the game through Game Pass. So I have digital. You know, I just think Game Pass is the future, and I think it's a fantastic idea. And if you don't have, like, you don't need to buy a console to play it. That's the thing. In September, you won't need to have an Xbox One. You don't need to have an Xbox Series X. You don't need to have any of it. You can play the tablet from home if you wanted to. So it's like, I don't know. I can't really explain how much Game Pass is worth it. People, you need to get Game Pass. I think it's the best thing ever. I swear by it. I don't know, like that to me is what Microsoft is planning for the next generation, is Game Pass, Game Pass, Game Pass, Game Pass. Just release games on Game Pass. You don't need to pay the $190, $80, whatever game's going to cost next generation to play the games. You can just jump on Game Pass and play it. So again, get Game Pass. It's $14.99 right now. You can get the Ultimate Edition, which you can play on PC and Xbox, and then xCloud when it comes out in September. The very last thing I'm going to talk about is obviously what I want to see from Xbox in the next generation. I've pretty much already covered, you know, Game Pass, pretty much covered what that is. So I want to see exclusives. If you look at the Xbox exclusives compared to the Sony exclusives, Sony wins by far. They have Spider-Man, Last of Us, Ghost of Tsushima, I'm sure God of War. I'm sure I'm missing a lot more. People are going to hate me in the comment sections, but Xbox needs exclusives. They don't have any. Halo, their biggest exclusive, got delayed. Obviously, all these games I mentioned are Xbox only games. I mean, PC probably as well, but Microsoft and Microsoft own Xbox and PC, so either way they're making money. Doesn't matter where you can play on PC or Xbox. They're making money regardless. They don't care. But they need people to come back. That's the thing. They don't have games that entice people to play. They have Sea of Thieves. They have a lot of fantastic multiplayer games, but no, like, groundbreaking console seller. Halo's gonna be a console seller, but it's not like Last of Us 2. It's not like Spider-Man. It's not like, like they need exclusives, and that should be their biggest focus, and I think they are. They've acquired like 15, 16 different studios that are going to make games for them. They have The Initiative, which is a brand new company that they say will make AAA games, whatever the heck that means. I don't know what AAA games means, but obviously it's a step above AAA games, so we'll see what they come out there, but exclusives are the biggest thing that Microsoft needs. And again, before I end this video, these are my opinions, and my opinions alone. If you have different opinions, that's fine. If you don't like a game that I talked about, that's fine. If you don't like Xbox and think I'm ridiculous for even talking about Xbox and you're Sony all the way, that's fine. Play on Sony. Play on PlayStation. It doesn't matter to me. I'm going to play on whatever console I want to play on. I just like talking about video games. So, Xbox pretty much in a nutshell. Obviously I'll have more information when I know more information. Next up will probably be, my round 3 predictions for the NHL playoffs. I know I said I'll do more sport videos. I will, but right now the NHL playoffs are kind of taking up all my focus. But round 3 is almost starting. Or round 2, sorry. Round 2 is almost starting. So that'll be my next video, and then you'll probably see Nintendo Switch and what Nintendo's plans are for the next generation, which is going to be interesting because I have to do a lot of research on that because I'm not quite sure. But anyways, if you like this video and want to see more, don't forget to subscribe. We're over 50 subscribers now, which is fantastic. I thank you everybody for your support. I really appreciate it. It means a lot. But subscribe, like, hit the notification bell, share with a friend, whatever. Let's continue the momentum going, and I just love creating videos. So, again, thanks for watching, and take care.